Welcome back to Beyond the Benchmark, where we cut through the noise in Washington and Wall Street to bring you clear insights on what's really shaping the economy and your investments. I'm Brad Casper, and today's episode is called Congress Keeps Playing Chicken with the Economy. The U.S. government is once again barreling toward a shutdown. By now, the spectacle feels depressingly routine. Deadlines come and go, lawmakers posture for the cameras, and the public is left wondering who, if anyone, is steering the ship. This time, the script is painfully familiar. The House passed a short-term funding bill to punt the problem into November, then promptly adjourned for the Jewish holidays, making it clear they wouldn't be back before the shutdown deadline. Translation: we'll let someone else take the blame. The Senate? No better. They failed to pass two different versions of a stopgap. One was the House's so-called clean bill. The other was the Democrats' Halloween-themed plan that tacked on extensions for Affordable Care Act subsidies. Neither side could muster the 60 votes required. The result? Another high-stakes game of chicken with the economy. A dysfunctional habit. Unlike last year's tax and spend bill, government funding requires bipartisan cooperation, and in today's Congress, cooperation might as well be a four-letter word. Both parties are digging in, Democrats tying the fight to healthcare costs, Republicans insisting on a clean extension. What could have been the basis for negotiation in another era has devolved into blame shifting. And who pays the price? Not Congress, it's federal workers, families waiting on benefits, and small businesses relying on government contracts. Markets wobble, credit rating agencies grow uneasy, and America's global reputation as a functioning democracy takes another hit. Yes, President Trump remains a wild card. He's hinted he could support a deal, but also signaled he's fine with the shutdown. But let's not kid ourselves. The bigger problem isn't the White House, it's Congress itself. Lawmakers have made governing by crisis the new normal. The constant brinkmanship might be good for headlines, but it undermines the institutions that keep the economy stable. What's at stake economically? Historically, markets tend to shrug off short shutdowns. Stocks dip early, then rebound. Treasuries often rally as investors seek safety. But this time, the backdrop is different. U.S. credit ratings are already under pressure. The economy is cooling, and the Federal Reserve depends on timely data to make decisions. If agencies like the Bureau of Labor Statistics go dark, the Fed is essentially flying blind. Back in 2013, a 16-day shutdown shaved nearly 0.6% off GDP, damage that wasn't fully recouped. In today's environment, even a brief disruption could magnify uncertainty, slow growth, and heighten the risk of another downgrade from ratings agencies. And let's not forget the world is watching. Each time the U.S. flirts with a shutdown, it sends a signal abroad. Washington can't even handle its most basic responsibility, funding the government. At a time when America is competing for influence in global markets and geopolitics, that perception of dysfunction has real consequences. Government shutdowns rarely produce winners. They don't solve disputes over healthcare, taxes, or spending priorities. What they do is erode public trust, rattle markets, and weaken U.S. credibility at home and abroad. This current standoff could end with a last-minute patch, just like so many times before, but even if it does, the bigger problem remains. Congress has grown addicted to cliffhanger governance. Until lawmakers rediscover the art of compromise and the responsibility of stewardship, we'll keep stumbling from crisis to crisis, and taxpayers, businesses, and investors will keep footing the bill. That's it for today's episode of Beyond the Benchmark. If you found this discussion helpful, don't forget to subscribe and share with colleagues and clients who want clear-eyed takes on the intersection of politics, markets, and the economy. Thanks for listening, and until next time, stay focused, stay informed, and don't let the noise shake your strategy.